how's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse. I'm here with Danny Orr, the General Manager of Performance Running at New Balance. And Danny, today we've got a very special shoe. This is an update to what could have been my favorite versatile running shoe of 2021. We've got the New Balance Rebel V3. Now, Danny, the Rebel V2 was known for being highly responsive, really versatile, and having an amazing price point. Now with version 3, what are we gonna see different, and what was the inspiration behind this shoe?
Yeah, you know, it's such a hard one, right? We can see so many different experiences, so many different users, and just how much people have loved the Rebel V2. And it's a hard one because you don't want to mess that up for so many, runners that have really enjoyed the first version. And I think as we look at the V3, the goal was really to enhance the overall performance of the shoe and just maximize the usability for people that have really loved the Rebel V2. And for all those people who have told us that they just wish they could have got to try the Rebel V2, we really hope that the Rebel V3, through some different geometry changes and a few things that we've tweaked here, that we've broadened that audience enough so that all runners can really enjoy the magic that is the Rebel series from New Balance.
Well, great. I'm glad to hear that some of the philosophies have stayed the same, but there also are some differences, particularly looking at the foam. It looks like some geometries have changed. Potentially, we have a little bit more fuel cell compound. Can you dive in and tell us what is different about this midsole, and is it the same compound we saw in the last version?
Yeah, it's the same compound, but on the brief, very clearly we said, we just want to get 10% more runners into this shoe, and for runners that really like it, we want them to be able to use it 10% more of the time. And to do that, what we've done is we've just broadened the platform just a little bit, predominantly through the midfoot, and then we've just raised the center line just a little bit to allow a slightly heavier runner to experience the magic that is our supercritical foam compound, which is the same one that is in majority of our racing shoes today.
Well, Danny, I know I've told you that I've been testing this shoe out a lot, and with version 2, I felt like it was a shoe I could bring out on tempo day, occasionally for daily training, but now with version 3, with a little bit broader of a platform, it feels a little more cushioned, a little bit more stable, and I have been bringing this out even more for my daily trainings. But Danny, let's move a little bit more and talk about the super foam. Super foams are the hot topic right now, and the Rebel was the first shoe that really put a super foam in a package that didn't have a carbon fiber plate. Can you talk about the reason for that and how that's gonna help you use this shoe for even more types of runs?
Yeah, I think it's actually really, really important. I feel like we have heard from so many customers that they are really interested in different experiences within their running, and we really are trying to talk to runners in the full journey of what their weekly or monthly training looks like. And I think one of the things that we have heard is that too much carbon fiber might not be a good thing, and how do we bring the benefits of the best foam that we have in many ways into an environment where somebody could wear it repeatedly during the week and really utilize it to complement their racing shoe. I think one of the key things that we were thinking about here is that utilizing a similar foam in a setup, one with a plate and without a plate, would really give a runner an arsenal to be able to train, race, run tempo days, run slower days in a variety of different setups, some with carbon fiber and some without.
Well, Danny, I think the midsole is definitely the highlight of this shoe, but we got to move on down to the outsole. We've got some small changes. Can you tell us about the rubber layout and some of that exposed fuel cell, what the reasoning for that is?
Yeah, the setup's really fairly similar to the V2. There is a little bit more rubber to that point. We had a similar cutout in the midfoot in the V2 as well. But if anything, we've added just a little bit more rubber to increase that durability again. As I mentioned previously, the midsole setup has gone a little bit thicker, mainly to try and accommodate a couple of more runners, as I mentioned. Also some additional width in the middle of the platform. Again, the notion of getting more people into the platform, providing a little bit more stability for those runners that need it versus the Rebel V2. I'm not saying this is a stable shoe, right? It's a neutral, up-tempo training shoe that we're incredibly excited about. And I think the key thing for me is that from the outsole into the midsole and the way that we've set this product up, we're just going to allow more people to enjoy it, which is awesome.
Well, the final piece of this shoe is going to be the upper, and with version 2, it was a pretty lightweight, pretty stripped down upper. It had that performance fit, and as we kind of moved into the protos for version 3, I know we tested out a couple versions, and we wanted to make sure it had that perfect fit, and we went through a couple of different versions. We had knits, we had different types of a little bit more volume, a little bit less volume. How did you end up on this final version, and what is this going to feel like on foot?
Yeah, it's such a tough one with a tempo shoe, right? Because you're walking this fine line between is it light enough to potentially race in, and is it supportive enough to really train in and get the distance miles that you need? I think if we're talking about it specifically, the key balance for us was about maximizing the breathability while maintaining a good amount of flexibility to allow different types of foot shapes to get into the shoe, and then engineering in some of the structure that somebody needs to be able to use it as a daily training shoe or for longer training miles. And I think it's about getting that balance right, which is always the challenge, particularly when you think about this type of shoe that sits in between true training and true racing. And I definitely think we've done a great job of walking that line with the Rebel V3.
Well, Danny, I'm so excited to get the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V3 on my feet. I've been testing it, and now in this final version, I think it's gonna be an extremely responsive shoe, an extremely versatile shoe. And again, at $130, I don't think that there's any better value on the market than the FuelCell Rebel V3. Truly an amazing shoe that I think any runner will enjoy for a wide variety of training needs. If you're looking to get the FuelCell Rebel V3 on your feet, it's available now. You can find it here at Running Warehouse.